All right. A dealer finds that the sales of a certain item are closely linked to the price he asks per item. If he asks for X dollars per item, then he can expect to sell 600 minus 50X items. Each item costs him $5. How much must he ask per item to maximize his total profit? All right, so here, first thing that we must do, we must determine what is our selling price, what is our cost price, and what is our quantity. So from the information here, our selling price is X. Our cost price per unit is $5 per item per unit. And then our quantity, QTY, is represented by 600. So they say if he expects to sell 600 minus 50X items. So this represents the quantity. So if we remember in economics, our profit maximization rule is the point where the marginal revenue, the additional revenue you get when you sell one more unit, equals the marginal cost. The additional cost you incur when you produce one more unit. All right. If a firm wants to maximize profit, it must produce at this point. Anywhere beyond this point, the marginal cost is going to exceed the marginal revenue and you start entering losses. Then any point before this point where marginal revenue equals marginal cost, your profit might be less than the profit that you make here. So marginal revenue is the derivative of total revenue, and marginal cost is the derivative of total cost. So first we find our total revenue. So total revenue, TR, is price multiplied by quantity. Right? Our price in this case is X. Our quantity is 600 minus 50X. So we can simplify this. X times 600, you get 600X minus X times 50X, you get 50X squared. Before I go any further, any questions? Okay, so to get our marginal revenue is the derivative of the total revenue function dTR with respect to X. So we're just going to use the power rule for differentiation, right? For the power rule, for example, let's say if you have an x, let's say 2x to the power 3. Yes, with the power rule, what you're supposed to do is the exponent, this 3, you multiply it by the coefficient. 3 times 2, that is 6. And you keep the variable 6x. Then you subtract a 1 from the exponent. 3 minus 1, that is 2. So you remain with 6x squared. Okay, this is the power rule for differentiation. So we're going to apply it to our total revenue function, right? So we start with 600x. So you say this is x to the power 1. You multiply the exponent with the coefficient. 1 times 600, that is 600. X. Then you subtract a 1 from the exponent. 1 minus 1, that is 0. So anything to the power 0 is always equal to 1. So this x to the power 0, it equals to 1. So we don't even need to show it here. Just leave it blank. Minus. Here our exponent we have, it's 2. So it's going to say 2 times 50, that gives you 100. Then you're going to say, we're going to subtract a 1 from the exponent. 2 minus 1, that is 1. So you remain with 100x to the power 1. Any questions? This is the marginal revenue. The next thing is now to get our marginal cost. So in order to get the marginal cost, you first have to have the total cost. So total cost, TC, is the cost price per unit multiplied by the quantity. So our cost price per unit is $5, and our quantity is 600 minus 50x. 600 minus 50x. So we expand 5 times 600, that is 3000. 5 times negative 50, that's 250x. So this is our total cost function. Now we need to get our marginal cost. So marginal cost is the first derivative of total cost. So get your marginal cost. Again, we're going to use differentiation. Marginal cost, the derivative of the total cost, dTR, with respect to x. Now, with differentiation, any number without a variable disappears. Okay, it disappears. You just take it like, for example, this 3000. You can take it like 3000 x to the power 0. So if you multiply with this 0 with 3000, it becomes 0. So you don't need to show that. Okay, that's a good thing. You just need to remember if a number doesn't have a letter with it, it goes. And we've got this negative 250x here. Negative 250x to the power 1. You multiply 1 times negative 250 and get negative 250 x. Then you subtract a 1 from the exponent. 1 minus 1, that is 0. So here negative 250x to the power 0. Remember, x to the power 0 is just the same as 1, so we don't even need to show it here. So our marginal revenue is negative. Marginal cost is negative 250. And according to the profit maximization rule, where marginal revenue has to equal to marginal cost, we equate our marginal revenue 600 minus 100x equals negative. So equate our marginal revenue to marginal cost equals negative 250. We find the value for x. So this negative 100x, we can take it over this side. This negative 250, we can bring it over this side. Okay, so we're going to have 600 plus 250 equals this 100x. 600 plus 250, that's 850 equals 100x. So to find the value of x, we divide both sides by 100. 850 divided by 100, that is 8.5. So this is how much you must ask for each unit to maximize his profit. $8.5.